Let's, speaking of politics, I did HuffPo yesterday.
Yeah.
And you know me.
Yeah.
I'm just attempting to solve problems in my life.
Oh, is this?
And,
it's actually a taped thing.
This is, yeah. And
you put a shirt on for this.
They got into.
Orange shirt. Was this 1974? What the hell
I wanted
is that?
to blend in with the sofa.
You did.
They wanted to get into why I called them assholes, basically, for taking my sort of Gavin Newsom thing. They did what a lot of folks on the left do, which is they take a story, they take a problem, which is, you take a problem. Gavin Newsom brings up a problem.
Yeah.
We have a problem. What's the problem?
It's complicated.
The problem is Black and Hispanic. Half of Black and Hispanic people that live in California have no access to a checking account. There's your problem. Then they take the person who would like to find the root of the problem, label him a racist, offer no solutions for the problem other than me and my racism, and then move on. As conquering heroes,
or
by the way.
More systems, more nannies.
Well, they don't really even offer that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like Gavin Newsom said, I have a bill I want to sponsor an educational program that I want to get behind, or I have some legislation or something I've spoke to the governor at length about. No. They make proclamations of a problem. Then if you offer a serious solution to this problem, let's say you're incorrect. Let's say I'm wrong with my solution. I'm still just a guy trying to offer a solution to your problem. That becomes hate speak, by the way. I don't know if you know this, Drew, but suggesting that families stay together and focus on education has become hate speak. Does that seem like hate speak to you?
Depends how it's received or how it sounds to people. You know what I mean?
No, it does. I don't give a fuck how it sounds to people.
As you say it there, it does not sound like hate speak.
It does not depend how it sounds to people, because if you say to some, you can say to somebody, "Your wife looks fantastic in that new dress." That can sound to him like you want to fuck my wife, and he can break a bottle over your head at the party. That doesn't make him right. You're paying him a compliment.
Right.
That person is wrong.
Right.
So don't give me that bullshit.
Okay.
If you say focus on education and focus on family, I don't know why that becomes hate speak, but it's hate speak.
I want to see this.
And the notion is what the left is going to do is they're going to silence everybody so that they can keep their little cottage industry. And I'm not even sure what that is, but there's no industry. There's never a solution offered. And this is the discussion after. So I get into it with Gavin Newsom. The headline on Huffington Post is Carolla wants to know what's wrong with blacks and Hispanics. Was that what happened? Is that what I brought up on this program? No, I did not bring it up. Gavin Newsom brought it up, and I want to know what the problem was, attempting to solve the problem. Gavin had no answers. I'm supposed to be turned into a bigot and silenced then. I'm not sure why the folks that are trying to attempt solutions, at least, need to be silenced. Does that seem like a great plan in terms of solving any problem? Whether it's cricket infestation or high dropout rates, we should silence people that attempt to have answers to these problems. And then am I not allowed to weigh in with an opinion on problems?
Oh, no, we're not allowed to say much these days. Free speech is a fallacy.
But here's the thing. So here's the thing. I'm allowed to weigh in on problems if the person shares the same skin color or ethnicity as me. But if there's something different, then I cannot weigh in. So I need to
be... But people are entitled to attack you and destroy you.
But I need to be a politician to weigh in on politics. There's many things that go on around the world. Terrorism, local politics. We have a mayor in San Diego. He's grabbing everyone's titty. Am I not allowed to weigh in because I've never ran a medium-sized city?
You have grabbed. Oh,
I've grabbed a titty.
Should I say
but
that?
am I not allowed to weigh in on this problem? I think that's my job, right? Okay, but not here.
It's funny. Anthony Weiner was sort of addressing that. It seemed like his position was, you're not allowed to say anything unless you're voting for me.
Right.
then you can have
Now you can hear the host from the Huffington Post show provide a very cogent, strong argument against my focus on family and education. I like the idea that you get a lot of pushback. Drew,
I want to see this.
Pushback on that. All right.
Let's see it.
All right. A little head before we get into it.
He didn't give you a good answer as to perhaps what he thought maybe some of the systemic causes are that
He had zero.
leave minority groups in in positions where they are more likely to live in poverty and be preyed on by these
I
types
gave
of
him the
businesses.
answer, which is family and education, and we can all get out of this mess. And he said it was much more complicated than that. But then
What is a little more complicated than that than just saying family and education?
not much.
Oh, but come on. I mean, it's a system, right, where
Hold on, right? Stop
it is
it
much
there.
harder
Like,
to
all right,
get out of a certain...
Just stop it. Oh, but come on. So first is, why not? Why not just go, yeah, family and education, let's try it.
Well, but because I think...
but come on.
Let me play their point of view. Her point of view. What's this?
I don't know.
Let me play her point of view, which is, if we're that simple, why wouldn't they just do it? Let's just get that done. So there's got to be some reason it's not happening. We need to solve that problem, so it must be more complicated. How about that?
No, but go ahead. She's not talking about that. She wants to talk about the systemic whatever. She's going to bring it back.
To the social structure.
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
income bracket if you're born into it. If you live in a certain neighborhood.
Right,
that
hold
affects
on,
the
hold on. You're born into an income bracket. Part of my argument
That's you.
for education
Yeah.
and
You were born in an income bracket.
everyone in this country historically was born into an income bracket, were they not?
And the whole idea was to get out of that. That was
Through
the
how?
hard work, education,
And family.
family support. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the old. That's old fashioned. Adam. What the hell's the matter with you?
All right. So anyway, there we go.
Focus on family and education. I mean, I'm not Christian or
You're
anything.
not going to solve everything.
It would solve everything, yeah.
Just family and education. What about the drug war that we have that's failing? What about the school to prison pipeline? Things like this.
The school to prison pipeline, if you focused on education, I think would interrupt the school to prison pipeline.
Well, the problem is that
Unless they're
schools are
physically a
schools are
pipeline.
maybe not focusing on education so much as they are on reprimanding children.
Okay. Problem
You
solved.
can keep going.
All right, you don't have to agree with me.
You're
You don't
going to
have to
fix
agree.
it.
I was curious as to what else.
All right,
what else
you
you
can
think
stop
the
it.
solutions are.
All right.
It just goes round and round like that.
What did you know about the school to prison pipeline?
No, but it's you must have been in it. I don't know how you got out of it, but
It's like one of those
Chris
things,
got in it, didn't he?
one of those things they have at the bank. It's just suck up the thing and
Used to
go
have
right
it.
into
That's
prison.
an 80s thing.
Yeah,
Gary's what you're talking about. Oh, you do? Okay.
I think this school to prison. Her argument. Oh, by the way, this is so. Her argument is what about minorities being disproportionately expelled from school? I would argue once again, family education is going to interrupt. Now, she wants to focus on why someone is being suspended for fighting or suspended for whatever reasons you suspend people for. That's been around for a long time. This hasn't. The school to prison pipeline. So again, what does she want to focus on? What, Drew? Can you please be her advocate
She wants to interrupt the pipeline
by not suspending kids?
by probably social services intervening. It's really about. I think it's an interesting thing.
Not
here,
what
madam.
she said.
But
she
wait,
wants
maybe,
less discipline.
Well, maybe I didn't hear that, but maybe.
Oh no. She there's a whole thing going on where certain cultures are being disciplined at a higher rate than other cultures,
But
and
there's
that's
an
the problem.
there's an interesting twist here that this you maybe not have thought about. You want to solve the problem at the root. These people are still focused.
Yes, I'm an insane person.
Hold on a second. These people are still focused on dealing with the leaves that are rotting in the here and now, the fruit on the tree. Like, how do we make that fruit okay?
They don't. No, they're not.
I think
they're
they're-
focusing on their friends and their job. They don't give a fuck.
But
they have no.
But that is a slightly different focus. If you want to solve all the people that are in trouble now, as opposed to the next generation, those are two different things.
Yeah, well, they don't have those are two different things. They don't have a solution for either one of those things.
I think that's probably true.
Calling me a racist is basically their solution.
Yeah, what about this whole you being
there's a hold on. There's a pipeline that goes from school to prison. She's going to actually, when I suggest a focus on education, she wants to know about the pipeline.
Yeah.
And uses that as an example of why my focus on education is never going to work. It's simplified.
Right.
I would use it as a shining example. I don't know why she's bringing that up. You know why she's bringing it up? She has talking points.
Right.
Those are her talking points. Yeah. She has 3 big beats. None of them have to do with family or education.
You should have gotten into her heritage and why she's okay. And
she's Russian. I'm sure, like many Russians who came to this country, didn't have a whole lot and focused on family and education. So yes, I'm insane.
But why do people? I don't experience you as racist. I experience you as sort of insensitive sometimes to how your language strikes people's ears.
What do I give a fuck for?
I understand that. That's the problem.
I'm trying to solve a problem.
But as such, I'm taking it a little more globally now. You get labeled as a Nazi and a racist and all this stuff. What the fuck? Don't you need to do something about that, or maybe adjust your language a little bit?
No, fuck.
Well, remember when you got in trouble with that Asian group? Remember that when you were on KLSX? And that guy came in, and you used the word Chinaman, and you didn't know.
No, that was different. That was different.
All right, but you didn't know that word was especially racist and especially problematic for Chinese people.
It's not really, but
it is.
Well, look. First off, I said it was on Loveline.
Yes, that's where it started.
And it was it was like we were talking about holistic drugs or something, and I said the pube of an old Chinaman, and I said old Chinaman like I was like an old timey reference.
Yes.
Like I grew up watching Kung Fu, and they'd be like, Chinaman, you don't belong in this city. Oh, so it was like old timey, but okay.
So you didn't know.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. Later on, the Ching Chong thing, that was Dave Damashek doing a bad comedy sketch. It had nothing to do with me. But
the point is...
But it was still me being racist, even though I didn't know about it.
Can't you adjust the meter on your sensitivity monitor a little bit? And maybe that would reduce some of the coming back at you.
Okay.
So people would hear what you're saying a little better. Like if you listen, you don't give a fuck how it strikes people's ears.
How does focus on education and focus on family come across as pejorative, hate speech, or an attack?
Why did the guy up in Toronto attack you so much? What was his issue? Kleiner, is that his name?
I don't know. I don't know what his issue was with me.
It wasn't even clear what he was saying. What do you think because he'd been on your podcast, right?
Yes.
And did he push back while he was here?
No.
Express outrage or indignation or
no?
Did he mention something specific you had said that makes you a Nazi?
I don't know. I didn't hear it. I didn't listen to the thing.
You never will, I'm sure.
What should I?
Yeah, I get it.
What do I give a fuck? I have a pirate ship.
Is there something to learn though from this? That you're affecting people in a way that you do not intend.
No.
Nor that it is real. That is real. Yes.
Well, look, obviously, if people are going to call me a Nazi, first off, if you have a drop of Jewish blood in you, you should be wildly offended by this. If this was a situation where there was somebody who did, mass extermination of African Americans, Hispanics, or anyone else, and people just willy-nilly compared folks who did nothing to that guy, there'd be outrage in that community. How dare you take the name of this person that rounded up 6 million of my family members and put them in ovens and then start calling comedians who've never done a thing, never done an act of hate against a Jew or anyone else, and willy-nilly use that? How dare you? So, first off, the Jews should be outraged that people take this this atrocity known as the Holocaust and throw this guy's name around and attach it to comedians. That's number one. The Jews aren't that outraged by it. Why is that?
They don't know about it.
No, they know about it.
They didn't hear it.
No, you know why? They don't care.
Right, they don't care.
Why don't they care?
Because they think you are a Nazi.
Why don't they care, Drew?
It's just not significant.
Why not?
Why is it that
why don't the Jews care?
Because
that you take Hitler's name and throw it around willy-nilly that way. So disrespectful. And so close, by the way. We're not that far off the Holocaust.
That's right. They used Hitler with you, too, right?
Of course. Why don't they care?
I think they would if they thought about
Why
it,
don't
but they're
they care?
busy with their own business. They're
busy. They're doing what?
Taking care of their own business.
Oh, that's interesting. Family, education, taking care of their own business, moving on. That's what I do. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
But let me just say, hang on a second.
Now, by the way, hold on. Here's the thing. They don't believe it, and nobody they speak to believes it either. That much I know.
That you're a Nazi.
That I'm anything close to any of those things.
But here's the thing.
So what do I care?
But you could. It's subtle adjustments, and I don't know if it's
subtle.
Well,
adjustments.
Listen. Well, just saying the Jews could strike an ear badly.
What? The Jews are getting upset now?
People of Jewish descent. All you have to do is adjust it a little bit.
I've never had a problem with the Jews.
I'm just saying, your language is what gets you in trouble, perhaps.
What? Not with the Jews. Why not with the Jews, Drew?
They're busy.
Doing what?
Working. Family and education. Family and education.
What? That's very racist, what you're saying.
Okay. But do you understand what I'm saying? That small adjustment in your language may not be as funny?
I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to make small adjustments for assholes.
Perhaps, but I'm Jewish, and the Jews strikes my ear like, eh. And I imagine somebody who is sensitive might kind of...
But you're here.
But somebody who... Listen. Okay, now listen to me. People that have trauma in their psyche, like African Americans have a lot of trauma from what happened through slavery and stuff. Lots of groups have trauma.
Jews have trauma too.
They do, but they've sort of dealt with it through family and education, whatever.
How'd they get over?
But be that as it may, people that have trauma re-experience that trauma when you use language.
That's okay.
But be about being sensitive to that.
Listen, I'm not. All I'm doing is fucking trying to solve a problem. I didn't cause the problem. I'm just willing to speak about it. And I will speak in frank tones and terms. I will try not to be pejorative.
Or racist sounding. See, it's a thing.
No, listen. No, Drew.
What is the difference between racist and racist sounding? Is there a difference?
Here's the deal.
People don't make that distinction.
Look, Gavin Newsom sat there and he said, we have a problem with African Americans and Hispanics. They don't have access to checking accounts. And I said, what is wrong with them? What are we going to do to fix this? What is your plan? And that is racist.
To say that?
Yes. It's racist sounding.
Yes.
It's not racist.
Yes.
Racist is actually going out and doing something.
As soon as you say them, it sounds problematic.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you can adjust your language. People are sensitive.
You want to know what's racist? Treating racists like kids. Like they can't handle the truth. Like they can't pull themselves up by their own bootstraps. What's racist is all the super scared white people who live in the fucking triple gated communities who are scared shitless about certain races and don't believe in their heart, ultimate racism, that they're capable of doing what they're capable of doing. That's racism. Me asking somebody, not like a special needs child on a football team, but like an equal human being on this planet to engage in a behavior that I know would lead to a path to success is not racist.
I would say.
If it sounds racist, so be it.
No, not so be it, because you have to be able to reach across and
be
empathic to other people to be heard by them. You got to understand their perspective. I believe that strongly. I do.
Listen,
I'm not saying what you're saying is invalid. This is very valid. But to be heard is what talk about making a difference, Adam. You got to be heard to make a difference.
Well, they're talking about me, aren't they?
Yeah, they're pushing back. They're all they're doing is saying that you're racist.
Right, because they don't have answers.
They're not hearing your messages, though. Really?
No, they don't. Look, listen. There is a club in this town.
You need to watch my HLN show.
I can't. There's a club in this town. It's a cool guy club. It's a cool guy comedy club.
Yeah.
The cool guy comedy club is super left-wing, has throws around a lot of terms like the pipeline from schools to prisons and voter suppression and things like that. The little things that you and I wouldn't think of as a big issue, such as getting valid ID in the state that you live in, or focusing on schoolwork and education and homework and things like that. These are the things that they don't think certain cultures are up to. And so they use that, and they sit up on top of Mount Pius, and they look down, and they throw around these terms, and then they all go to their parties that don't involve any of these nationalities, and they smoke weed, and they talk about what a racist I am. And then they talk about how funny they are, and they talk about what a buffoon I am, and what a hillbilly I am, and they talk about how much funnier they are than me, and how I'm not really a comedian. And again, it all kind of comes. By the way, all the stuff you have to understand. Every time somebody says you're racist, you're sexist, you're homophobic, really what they're saying is, I'm not. Mm-hmm. I'm better. It's not really about me. It's about them. It has much more to do with them than it does with me.
Is it envy?
They're
all
elements.
Kinds of reasons.
They're elements. First off, none of them can do what I do. They cannot do it. Go get a microphone, do 5 shows at Caroline's, and improvise for 5 90-minute shows.
Speaking of which,
none of them.
We have 4 shows coming up. We got to push.
None of them can do that. That's number one.
Come see Adam in Boston or New Hampshire or Carmel or Newport, Rhode Island, please.
Thank you. Now, it's mainly a narcissism. It is, you are fat, thus I'm skinny. You are racist, thus I'm evolved. You're homophobic, thus I'm not. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the finger pointing is really about self-congratulations. Look at all of us in the hipster. I'm in the Hollywood hipster comedy club. I get to sit around and get high and talk about what a buffoon Adam Carolla is. And the plan, your plan for this remedy, is for me to alter my language and tweak some of my
plan.
verbiage.
I don't think they give a shit. They just want to knock you down.
Right. They don't care. Here's my plan. They should all fuck themselves. If you want to know what my plan is,
keep racing cars.
I'm going to hit $1 million on my crowd fundraising.
Yep.
Fund anything.
Yep.
I'm going to make my independent films. Mm-hmm. I'm going to launch new podcasts. I'm working on my second studio. I'm working on my 3rd book deal. I'm going to do a contractor show on Spike, and you guys can all suck my medium-sized cock. I don't give a fuck. I don't work for anyone. It doesn't work the way it used to work, which is Dave Damashek makes a ching-chong joke. Jack Silver gets his panties in a bunch because that hack guy Aoki writes him a fucking shitty letter from his office above Benihana, and he fucking barges in here and makes somebody apologize. No, his dad owns Benihana. You guys think that's a racist joke. I think if you look it up, his dad,
Chris, why are you so amused by this? He got the biggest shit-eating grin on his face this entire diatribe.
That's not how this works anymore. There's a new paradigm, bitches. I'm in charge. I have fans. Those fans understand the truth. They're not a bunch of Hollywood asswives.
I have a question. Do you have any fear that, like, the government overreach now becomes the daddy, the boss? You get the Justice Department coming in here because somebody rings a bell and says Adam Carolla is a dangerous guy and need to investigate him, and they find some T not crossed here in your OSHA regulations. You know what I mean? They can fuck you up.
Listen, Drew.
Government overreach is here, man.
Oh, no. I'm sure of it. My plan.
And if they want to fuck you up, they can easily. Just because you just didn't, I don't see you didn't post the laws for your employees. You got to post those laws, man.
They are posted.
Oh, good.
But thanks, asshole. You're trying to get the government in here?
No, I figured it was posted somewhere. I
You
didn't see
figured?
it.
Yes, it is posted somewhere. All right, here's the point. Point is this. I don't give a fuck. I have a pirate ship. If you ask me who's funnier, men or women, I will provide an answer. That answer will be men. It is not only historically true, it's biologically true. People sent me a bunch of data. There's a bunch of new data, a bunch of new research that says women are attracted to comedy because they look at it as a sort of superior intellect gene.
So men have developed that as a way of attracting females.
And men have Men have developed that over the course of the last million years to try to attract, like everything in nature, plumage.
Yep.
It all works that way.
Yep.
So that's
This
the
is
answer.
The
I will.
plumage being displayed.
I will provide that answer for you. I will then go on quietly.
Stop. I got to jump
I will
in.
then go on to provide a number of women who I think are very funny.
Potentially funnier than any of the men. Potentially.
Yes. But you ask me a question, I will answer it.
On average.
You want to find out if Gavin Newsom wants to bring up the problem with no access to checking accounts in the Black and Hispanic community, I will attempt to provide an answer. You may not like the answer. You may then want to take that answer and run with it. You may want to post articles online or provide soliloquies where you call me a Nazi or homophobic or misogynistic or whatever you like. That will be your business. I will provide the truth. And guess who will recognize the truth? Not you and your Hollywood friends smoking your weed out of your vaporizer.
The people that fund your movie.
My audience.
Your audience.
That's who I don't want to bend for.